somebody asked me what is really empathy, what is like emotional intelligence, and they just couldn't understand it. So I was like, you know what? We have to get this.
Absolutely. Thank you for that wonderful, warm introduction. Empathy is very, very close to my heart. So what it means essentially in very, very basic terms is perspective taking. So how we demonstrate empathy is by listening. And what we don't do a lot of is listening. We hear. So hearing is innate. Things are rustling in the background, leaves are moving, and so on and so forth. But when it comes to listening, that is an art form that we don't really practice, because what we do, we listen to respond without listening to understand. So essentially, empathy is about perspective taking.
Oh, wow. So when you are listening to understand, what changes?
What changes everything, because you learn a lot more. So listening is for information gathering. When we're hearing something, we've already got a narrative in our minds, and we're already thinking of what to say without actually listening to what is being said.
Okay, so it's basically like when you are talking to me, I'm listening to give a response. So it's already come from a bias that I already have created the story in my head.
Absolutely.
But if I'm actually understanding where you are coming from, the pain you are trying to describe, or what we would say, the excuse that you're making, I'll be able to understand where you're coming from and then feel for you, feel.
It's more about leaning in. See, empathy is not necessarily agreeing with somebody. It's more about, okay, this is what you're thinking, this is what you're feeling. How can I pivot towards you so I can help you the best way I can?
So, well, while you are being empathetic, because I have heard that story really like very often with a lot of people that, oh my God, I'm just a really empathetic person, so this affects me more. So when you are empathetic, are you more sensitive?
So it's not about sensitivity, it's about hyper awareness, right? So there are different forms of empathy: cognitive empathy, where you're thinking and you think like the other person, and emotional empathy, where you feel for that person. And there's one called compassionate empathy, where you care about that person. So I don't really like to define it by those three. I just call it empathy, and it encompasses all of it, where you think and understand that person, and through that understanding you can feel on behalf of that person, and then you can show compassion towards that person. So I think it's really important to define what compassion is. Do you know what that means?
No, I mean, so compassion for me would be that I feel like I can feel your pain. I can understand where your pain is. No, I don't want to feel it, but I understand where your pain is coming from, and I want to take care of you.
And I think that's a very important distinction. You don't want to feel people's pain. Otherwise, if you did, it would be so terrible for you as a human, right?
Yeah.
But we'll start with passion. When someone is passionate, people often describe it as a desire, or that kind of, it's a wonderful feeling. I feel so passionate. But actually, passion means to struggle.
What?
Passion means to struggle. And to be compassionate is to show care about the struggle.